Record-breaking weather up and down the East Coast. We've seen historic snowfall from Florida to Vermont, but not here in Rhode Island. So what's going on with this weird weather? Eyewitness News meteorologist TJ Del Santo introduces us to one weather expert who says we might still have some surprises in store.
Spring is now officially here, but a look back at the winter season shows one for the record books. Just about everywhere except for here.
Looking in the rear view mirror at this past winter shows some pretty impressive stats, including it being one of the top 3 winters of all time in the U.S.
Probably the most unprecedented stat is that for much of the Mid-Atlantic, 3 of the top 10 biggest snowstorms of all time all occurred in this season.
Corey Pescatore is the reigning world champion accordion player, but he's also a self-described weather nut. The Cumberland native compiles pages upon pages of weather facts and stats, and his work has been published in major newspapers.
I just love the unpredictability of weather. It's always interested me.
He said other cities like Burlington, Vermont, Dallas, and Oklahoma City all had their biggest snowstorms of all time. We were surrounded by historic snowfalls, and while we did have the blizzard in December, the rest of the winter was fairly unremarkable.
Very unusual, very unusual. Usually we would get the snow and they would get the rain. Or anytime they've had a major snowstorm, especially down D.C. to New York City, we end up getting it, but it just missed out.
The frequency of the storms and their intensity were almost unprecedented. An El Nino-fueled jet stream and frequent cold outbreaks normally would give us a snowy winter. Corey says we missed the historic snow just by chance.
How could we miss out? Everybody north of us, south of us, west of us get all these records, and we just barely missed out. And Southern New England usually does very well in historic seasons, so I feel like we're going to get the final punch.
You heard that right. He said we could see a late-season snowstorm before warmer air finally settles in for good.
I asked Corey if his research showed any correlation between busy winters and hurricane season. He said no, but he did tell me that busy winters do come in batches of 2s and 3s. We'll have to see what next year brings for us. In the Weather Yard, I'm TJ Del Santo, Eyewitness News.